Hey guys, this is Gene Jensen, and there's been a little bit of a change going on in the Flukemaster channel lately. And I kind of threw Ryan in the middle of it without kind of explaining who he is and how he came to be and how we got to know each other and stuff like that. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to step out of the frame, go run the camera, and I'm going to let Ryan tell you why he's on Flukemaster.
Alright guys, so you've been seeing me around on Gene's channel, and a couple years ago I had a few videos on there in the beginning. There was a few videos we had made together, but I just wanted to talk with you guys a little bit about why I'm here, and I got a pretty crazy story to tell, and I hope in the end, really my goal with all this is not only just to help Gene, you know, with bringing some fresh content and a different viewpoint on things, but if you know, the ultimate goal is if my story can help even one person, that's why I'm doing this tonight. Is to reach out to the people that are struggling with what I struggled with, and hopefully give them a glimmer of hope. Anyway, I'm 27, and I have two amazing parents, and my life was turned upside down when I was 12, back in 2002, when my dad was charged with some pretty serious charges in Georgia, Pennsylvania, and Rhode Island. He was convicted in one of those states, and he was sentenced to 15.5 years in prison. He was convicted in Pennsylvania and lived about 12.5 hours. He's about 12.5 hours away from you know, where me and my mom lived in Georgia, and my life just got completely turned upside down. And this is kind of where Gene comes into play. Before that had happened, I was part of a bass fishing forum, and we had a Georgia angler meetup where we met over at a lake, and we all kind of met each other. And this was after the conviction. You know, I was doing okay. I was still pretty numb to everything that was going on. I didn't know how to really process it at that age. So anyway, Gene, you know, he knew about what was going on, and a lot of the guys on the forum knew. You know, we had a pretty big period of time leading up to the trial, and you know, when that happened, a lot of guys in the fishing community really went above and beyond to take me under their wing and try to help me out with just trying to grow up on the right track. You know, I lost my dad, and I had a really good childhood, so it wasn't like I came from a turbulent family. It was a great childhood, and literally I just had everything just destroyed. So before that happened, I grew up saltwater fishing with my dad, and in Rhode Island, and that's where I was born and raised for the first 7 years of my life. And we came down here, and just happened to be that one of my buddies that I grew up playing hockey with, his dad actually fished professionally for a while on the bass fishing trail, and did some guiding, and I had a bunch of interest in bass fishing, but I didn't really know what it was all about. And he took me out night fishing. We caught some fish on a buzzbait, and I was instantly hooked. Went out and caught some bass on a full moon night on some buzzbaits, and I was totally hooked into fishing. Joined the forums, started learning about stuff, and so that's where I met Gene. Gene has had a very significant impact in my life. He's been a father figure to me, giving me guidance wherever he could, you know, but not being too pushy. He's been a huge help to my mom when all this went down, and she was totally lost and clueless as to what to do. And so anyway, fishing was my getaway. The last 2 years of high school, I actually did a private homeschool group, and really I would get my work done, and I'd take my John boat out. Actually, the boat that I bought, Gene's old boat, excuse me, and I stayed out of trouble. You know, I never drank or smoked in high school, and you know, I was addicted to fishing. I fished tournaments. My mom was just an amazing support. You know, waking up at 3 a.m. with me to go and drive me to these lakes all around the southeast for me to fish these John boat tournaments. And Gene was a huge help with being. I fished 1 year in the Junior Bass Masters when I was 17. Gene was my boater for all of them. You had to have a 18 or 21-year-old plus boater. Gene was there for everything. I was, I fished the BFL Bulldog Trail as a co-angler, and back then the Bulldog Trail was the Bulldog Division was known as one of the most difficult trails on the BFL. When I was 17, I won Co-Angler of the Year on the Bulldog Trail, and at the award ceremony at the regionals, some FLW officials came up to me and informed me that they had looked through their records and that I was the youngest person to ever win Co-Angler of the Year on the co-angler side, and things were just going fantastic. I had caught, my personal best was 14.7. I was winning tournaments. Things were going great. I had a lot of people talking about, the hype of me coming up, and I got sponsorships. I had a full tournament jersey full of legitimate sponsors that were supporting me, and I got to college, and that's where things pretty much came unglued. I went to Kennesaw State University, and in my second year at Kennesaw State, I was introduced to oxycodone, which is a pretty strong opiate painkiller, and that's what it did. I had a lot of pain, and it killed it. And it wasn't physical; it was mental. This was all emotional pain. I remember the first time taking an oxycodone and just being in love with it. Not chemically, but just I finally was able to not hurt anymore. For the 6 to 8 hours that thing was in my system, there was no pain. And I was addicted to that. I was addicted to that feeling. I kept getting them, and I was pretty naive, man. I had no idea of the consequences of doing these things, and I should have known that something that made you feel so good had an equal and opposite reaction to make you feel so bad. Luckily, as this was beginning, when I was 18 and just about to go into college, Gene had called me and said that there was a place in North Carolina that needed some extra guides. Looking back on it, I worked there for up until last year. That was an absolute lifesaver. My relationship with Gene was an absolute lifesaver, because what happened with the oxy was that it progressed, and it got worse, and it got worse, and I was able to, I started selling drugs in college to support my habit, and it really sucked. It really sucked, but I didn't have that pain anymore, so it was worth it to me. And I hid it from everyone, and I lied. It wasn't a good thing, and that was just the beginning. I had this wonderful, promising fishing career, and I was already starting to throw it down the drain with these painkillers. If I thought that was bad, what happened in the next couple of years, I believe it was the summer of 2012 is when I came across heroin for the first time. Within a month of doing heroin, I was injecting it, and that's when things completely came unglued. I lost everything to that drug, and the last 5 years have been me repeatedly trying to quit and quit and quit and quit, with no success. Little blips of time here and there, never more than a week. I'd always be back on it. And so anyway, like I was saying, with the heroin use, I lost everything. I lost, all my fishing gear that I had worked so hard to acquire. I had to call all my sponsors and tell them I'm not fishing anymore. Because this drug ruled my life, and I wasn't able to, every morning when I woke up, I had to wake up and get a needle ready with this disgusting stuff, and I was a slave to it. It just wore me out, just slowly, as I had to give up my fishing stuff, and I lost my vehicle, and I lost that I was on a path to fish professionally, and I lost it all. I had to lie to everyone all the time. My life was one massive lie, just lying to everyone. My family, my friends, people like Gene, and Gene knew that there was something wrong. Everyone knew there was something wrong, but, I thought that I was Mr. Slick, and I knew how to, because I didn't steal from people, and because I figured out a way to get it on my own, and, I thought that nobody knew, and everyone knew. And I've got a great group of friends that, even though they've put up with me saying, oh, I'm good, I'm stopped, I'm clean, and I was lying to them. They've continuously stuck by my side, and Gene's one of those people. Gene is always, this whole Flukemaster idea, not the Flukemaster idea, but the instructional video idea, about, I don't know, maybe 8-9 years ago, me and Gene were sitting down, and that's when the idea happened. We were talking. We were driving up to North Carolina. It was a 6-hour drive, and we started talking about how the fishing industry had really nobody to teach them, instructional content. There was no good content on the web. And so, we went up to the place we guide at, and after we'd be done guiding, we went out and shot videos on a little $30 little flip camera, video camera, and shot things on cell phones. And that's where the dream started. And I wanted to join Fluke and all this, but inside there was this huge lie. I'd come home from Kingfisher and get this great boost and think, I can quit, I can do this, I can live my dream and fish full time. And the reality is I was lying to myself. It was a lie, and my life sucked. Looking back on this, my multiple suicide attempts, whether it was trying to intentionally overdose, whether it was trying to, contemplating, driving 100 miles an hour down the highway and seeing a tree and knowing that I could end it so quickly. I'm really glad I didn't do that. And with some of the things that I've done to try to make it so that I would never wake up again, I don't know how I'm here. Whether it's God, whether it's whatever it is, there's a reason that I'm still here and still alive. 2 falls ago, I was in a really, really terrible accident where I rolled my Jeep 7 times down this huge embankment with no seatbelt on, blew out all the windows, and somehow completely walked away from it unscathed. I had a broken nose and a couple scrapes here and there, but nothing broken, no serious injuries. And the police officer that responded to it was like, man, in the 13 years I've been an officer, he was like, I've never seen anything like this. You should be dead. When I pulled up on the scene, I was already calling in paramedics for a possible fatality. This has been a lot of stuff that there's dozens of times that I shouldn't have been woken up the next day, and somehow I'm still here. So to put things in perspective, tonight is 32 days without heroin. And what you guys have seen in the last month with me with Gene, you guys have just seen the good, and there's been a lot of ugly. That first week or two was me curled up in the fetal position, not able to eat, throwing up, going through horrible withdrawal. But Gene got me through it, and extended this offer to come out here and do this with him, and I was just so tired. I was exhausted of the chase of every day, just ruining my life on this substance. And it's an epidemic in our country, guys. And I can't thank Gene enough for this. I hope that the content that I help Gene create and the videos that we produce, bring happiness to you guys, and that's all I hope for. I'm just, every day that I wake up, I'm grateful, because I know that there's so many times that I shouldn't be here now. And if it wasn't for people like Gene and my mom and dad and family never losing faith in me, and my friends never losing faith in me, I wouldn't be here. If it wasn't for God making sure that I kept on breathing on nights when I had taken such insane amounts of heroin and Xanax to try to make it so that I wouldn't have to suffer anymore. Even though it was self-inflicted, with getting on these drugs, it said it was a painkiller. And when I found out that it killed my mental pain that I'd always suffer with, it was like there was no way to stop. So I've lost a lot of stuff to this, but I have a lot to be grateful for as well. And so me telling you this is a combination of, letting you know why I'm here and why I'm doing these videos with Gene. This has been something that Gene has been inviting me to do with him and join this with him for years and years. And I'm always like, yeah, man, I'm going to do it. And I never followed through with it. I'd get excited, and then I'd retreat back to the hole. And as soon as I wasn't high anymore, I'd go down to downtown Atlanta and have to go pick up again, and it was just a cycle of madness. So anyway, the other reason, and this is the biggest thing, is that if my story, you know, we're going to keep updates along the way. We've been kind of doing some personal journey, you know, video journaling and stuff. If I can help one kid not get on these chemicals, these drugs, if my story makes it so that one person who feels like there's no way that they can stop, if it gives them the courage to at least give it a try, to know that there's a life outside of that hell that I was living in, then all the suffering and the pain that I've been through was worth it to me. And I just, again, I want to thank Gene and his family for, you know, never losing faith in me, and, you know, knowing that inside that addict was a person that really wanted to get well and wanted to live, even though, you know, I like I said, there were so many times I tried to take my life and just could never succeed. I sucked at suicide, and I'm glad. You know, I'm really glad. Anyway, you know, guys, you know, talk to your kids about this stuff. I didn't know anything, and I've had a lot of drug counselors, you know, tell me, you know, you're lying to yourself when you said that you didn't know the dangers of taking oxycodone. I didn't. I had no clue. I had no idea the stuff was addictive. I had never even heard of it. All I knew is it made me feel really good, and I didn't have to suffer from what I've been suffering from for years when I lost my dad. And so, you know, if you guys have family members, that are struggling from this, anything, you know, share my video. I'm not ashamed of what I've done. I'm not ashamed of this story. I'll tell whoever needs to hear it, whoever wants to hear it, whoever has 5 minutes to listen, because, you know, I believe with all my heart that the reason that I'm still here is because I have a purpose, because I should be dead 10 times over. And somehow I'm not. Somehow I'm here filming this video right now. If you guys have anybody that's struggling with this, you know, and they want to talk to me, I'm here. If you have kids, you know, and you don't know how to talk to them and you need some advice, message us. I know that I can't save the world. You know, there's no way to do that, and that's an issue that I've had in the past. Is you know, getting over my head and wanting to help people and trying to save so many people that I stopped thinking about myself and helping myself, and that was a way of deflecting away from all the self-harm I was doing. But I want to help. I care about this community of fishermen. This is my family. The fishing community is my family. You know, anybody that's struggling with anything even remotely close to this, you know, unfortunately I have a ton of knowledge in the subject. It doesn't even have to be opiate related. If it's anything, you know, crack, cocaine, methamphetamine, you know, anything, just guys, you know, talk to us about it. You know, of course we'll be confidential. You know, I'm not here to spill anybody's dirty laundry because I got a basket this high. And, you know, I just want to make sure that you guys understood why I was here. And I wanted to, again, you know, another thing, and, you know, another big thing was, you know, just Gene, you know, saying, look, dude, I need you to get well because I need your help over here. You know, I need some ideas, some fresh ideas. And, you know, me and him fish so differently. And we have, you know, very, very differing styles. And when we're on the water, we talk all the time. We're bouncing ideas off. When we're in the truck, we're just, it's a constant bouncing ideas off each other. And as to, you know, how we can, you know, become better anglers and teach better. So, you know, I'm here to stay. I'm here to teach and educate. But the other thing is if I can help with anything personal regarding this subject, please message us. Please let me know, and I'll be more than happy. But I just wanted to thank everyone who's watched this all the way through. I know it's kind of a little bit of a long video, but you know, I feel it's important for you guys to know, you know, what's going on here. So day 33 is tomorrow, and you know, I can't wait to reach 6 months and then 9 months and a year. But I really appreciate the really kind comments on YouTube too. It's been, you know, really encouraging and uplifting to see that people are enjoying the content.
All right, so there you have it. that's why Ryan's here with us. That's why he's helping me with my videos, and ultimately what I want to do is help him to create his own channel. The channel that the name that we've picked is Our Land Fish, and we've already started the channel. There's no videos on it. There's no nothing. It's just we snatched up the name as soon as we came up with it. We've had a few people, you know, in the comments, whether it's in jest or not, say that they wanted Ryan gone. I got one thing to say about that. I don't give a crap. He's staying, and that's the reason why he's staying. Like he said, I've wanted to do this for a long time. I've wanted to have him here helping me, doing what I do, helping me teach the world to fish, because he's really good in front of camera for some reason, and he's got these skills and talents that I see that he hasn't quite figured them out himself. But great fisherman, great guy. A lot of fun to be around, and changes the dynamic of my videos quite a bit. He won't be in every one of them, so those of you who just like me for some reason, he's not going to be in every one of them, but he'll be in quite a few because we're working together, and he's living in my basement right now, so we're kind of stuck together. We're taking off tomorrow, doing a little traveling, but like I always say, be sure to introduce somebody to fishing. Introduce them to my channel. Let me help you teach them how to fish, and more importantly, get out of the water, go out and catch some fish, and have a great day. See you later.
See you guys.